Okay, so you can certainly double or triple this recipe, and I would. What I like to do when I'm doing homemade gifts is Ireland and I will just get in the kitchen and we'll do a whole like assembly line. I love giving gifts in mason jars. I think that they're really on trend, which is great anyway, but they're also very inexpensive and they look homemade. So, you know, pick yourself up some different size mason jars or just some nice clear baggies work great, and then you could actually tuck this gift inside of a mug. But this is a winner. I do a homemade hot cocoa mix too, which is also really nice for the kids. But chai lattes are so expensive when you go out to get them. They're like $4 or $5. And this mix is so good. All you do is add water and it tastes like, you know, like you went to a coffee house to get it. Very, very easy to do too. So it starts out with, this is dry powdered milk. So this might be something, they have it at the grocery store. In fact, you can actually pick up this recipe right at any area Kopp's food stores. But this is dried powdered milk. They'll have it there. You might have to ask for it and dig around for it. Normally comes in a box. And it's something, an ingredient that, you know, probably you haven't really used much. So pick yourself up a big container of that. And then this is something I'm sure you're all familiar with. This is dry non-dairy creamer. So we've got 2 cups of that. Now kind of the secret ingredients to this recipe and really gives it a lot of flavor. This is 1 box of instant vanilla pudding. Gives it some wonderful flavor. Then we've got some sugar, and you can get the complete recipe on our website, or again, you can pick it up at any area Kopp's. This is another one that also you're going to have to maybe hunt around the grocery store for. You're going to find it near the teas and the coffees. But you want to make sure this is instant, unsweetened iced tea mix. So you want to make sure it's instant. You also want to make sure it's unsweetened because we have all that sugar in here and the pudding mix. And it's just the instant, that's for sure. You want that. So it's the instant, unflavored iced tea mix. Unsweetened. And unsweetened. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to add, you know, chai tea has a lot of great spices in it, and that's what makes it extra special. So. And something unique and something different. So we're going to start with a couple teaspoons of cinnamon. Then we've got some ground cloves, ginger, and then this is allspice. So lots of spices. It seems like a lot, but this makes a pretty big batch. So I'm mixing it together, but then I really want this to be a very, very fine powder. You don't have to do this step, but I think it's important. You wouldn't have to. You could mix it really well and just package it up as is. But I want this to be really fine, and when basically you just mix it with hot water when you go to make it. So one of the tricks is to really get it to be a fine powder. And Ann, I didn't even say good morning to you, Ann. Ann, good morning. How are you?
Wonderful.
Are you getting ready for the holidays? Ready or not, here they come, Ann. Did you have my gift picked out? Ha, she says. Well, let me write.
Right next to your gift for me.
She said it's sitting right next to my gift to her. Come on now. Don't be a Grinch. Okay, so Ann was asking me, so should we use the food processor or the blender to get this into a fine powder? Either would work, but my preference is a blender. I think it does a nicer job. And you don't want to overload it, so you just want to fill it, but let's see if all of this fits in here. And we really want a nice fine powder. By the way, if you're doing some holiday shopping this weekend, I hope you'll come out and see me. I've got lots of book signings over the next couple of weeks. I will be at Cook's Corner on Saturday, so come on out and say hi. I think we'll be able to get it all in there. Okay. So at this point, I'm just going to blend it all up. And I don't know if you can see, but boy, the whole color changes. So That is why, if you have the time to do that, it really becomes a nice powdery light brown color, and it really does the best job of incorporating all the ingredients together, like you'd get, you know, a packet of chai latte mix, but this is so much better, and you made it yourself, which is cool. So once it's ground into a really fine powder like that, what I like to do is, they have these really inexpensive clear saran wrap bags. So what I'll do is I'll put, you know, some of the powder in the bags, tie it with a ribbon, and maybe put it into a nice holiday mug. Makes a lovely teacher's gift or a neighbor's gift, or if you have to bring a hostess gift or just a coworker gift, something like that. Just a nice little homemade gift from your heart. Or you can also use a funnel and use one of these jars and load up these jars with the mix and tie a ribbon around one of these jars. Now this happens to be a really big jar, but certainly a smaller jar would be great. They come in all different sizes, and it just takes a little time to fill up the jar. And then wrap a pretty ribbon around that, and then a little tag, a gift tag. You want to label what it is, so it's a homemade chai latte mix, and then directions on how to use it. So the directions for this would be a couple heaping tablespoons of the mix to hot water. And because it has that powdered milk in there, that's why it's a latte, kind of got that whole latte thing going on without having to steam the milk. So into your mug it goes, a couple heaping tablespoons of this, and then we've got some boiling water that we just add that, pour it in. Be really nice garnish with a cinnamon stick or maybe a little whipped cream. But let me tell you, it is really, really tasty, very inexpensive to make. But if you are going to make it, that makes one batch, like I say. Why not do like I do and do 3, 4, 5, double, triple, you know, make a whole bunch at one, fill a whole bunch of jars or little saran wrap bags, and then get all those gifts done, kind of like an assembly line. It's really fun to do. We crank some holiday music in our house, bake some cookies, and just have a kind of a homemade gift making night, and it's a fun thing to do. It's really, really tasty, really, really nice. You could add additions to this. You could add a little bit of like a dried orange zest would be lovely if you wanted to put some orange flavor in here. There's different things that you could add to this too to make it even more unique, but following that base recipe, and it really is tasty, like a kind of like a taste of Christmas right in a mug. My homemade chai latte mix, you can get the recipe on our website. You can also pick it up at any area COPS locations.